Hey, what is going on, everybody? Miguel of Go here. We've got an amazing guest tonight, Sam Newsman. But before we get into our guest, we've got this episode's sponsor. So hold tight. Welcome to D. Blake Makes Action Figures and Pop Culture Signage. D. Blake Makes store is dedicated to providing fans of all ages with the best possible selection of action figures and pop culture signage. Whether you're into comics, gaming, sci-fi, fantasy, anime, D. Blake Makes has something for everyone. The store is filled with a wide variety of high-quality merchandise. D. Blake Makes offers exclusive products you won't find anywhere else. So go check out D. Blake Makes, because he is your go-to destination for action figure and pop culture signage. That was D. Blake Makes, who makes all this wonderful stuff behind me. And speaking of wonderful, our next guest on 30&Go, Sam Newsman. Hello, Sam Newsman. How are you?
Broadcasting live deep from an underground military bunker or a spaceship high above the plane of Earth. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is 30&Go with Go Figure Go. Go Figure Go. I am doing fantastic. It has been a busy week so far. It's been a busy week for me from the beginning to end. And but one of the things that I'm very excited about is I'm excited to be here with you.
Thank you.
And absolutely, it's an honor actually to be on your show. And the reason why I say that is because several months ago you came on my radio show. So the radio show, WDCE 90.1 FM, usually from 9 to noon. I might do one this Saturday, maybe around 8 o'clock or so, or 7:30. Just we'll figure it out. Just follow me at Sam Newsman. It's down there. You see the link right there. But I'm going to tell you, one of the things that was very awesome is several months ago, you came on the radio show. You came on the radio show and you talked about dioramas. You talked about action figures. And you talked about all things in terms of creative, because that's what we do. Not only are we collectors, but we're also creative individuals, myself included, because, well, I'm the most trusted puppet in media. But other than that, other than that, we're creative individuals. You sit there, you take time to create things. And that's all kinds of stuff. And then one of the really cool things that I think is fantastic is that then you grab a paintbrush and then you start using color and levels of layer and dimension and color. There's creativity. I'm just going to call you Picasso. Maybe I'll call you Van Gogh. Van Gogh Figure Go is what I'm going to have to call you now. So Van Gogh Figure Go. So that's the new name. You guys all heard it first here from the most trusted puppet. Van Gogh Figure Go. That's the new name. He's going to sit there. He's going to change all social media too now, because what you're doing, you're setting the standard, you're raising the bar. And once again, it's just an honor and a privilege to be here. So thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Well, thank you for the kind words, man. That's amazing. And thank you for coming on to the show. It's an honor to have been a part of the radio show. It was a huge deal for me. Growing up, I've called radio shows and I've never got on them for prizes. So to be on one and speak on a radio show and have that time, that was a dream fulfilled. So thank you for that. Really do appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, the honor was all mine. And like I said, you do a bunch of great work. But you talked about your sponsor. Don't you have something on hand that he just created for you? You do? So,
yeah, this is.
I think it was a Rumble.
There
it is. There it is. Yeah, hold it up.
One.
So talk about that. That's your sponsor, real quick. And what does he do?
D. Blake Makes. Any of the signs that you see behind me in the Go Zone, they're all made from D. Blake Makes.
Incredible work. He's done incredible work,
amazing work. Yeah.
Listen, I love your setup, and one of the great things about your setup is that you can just kind of reach over your shoulder and grab something other than if it was in a soulless detolf, because soulless detolfs, what they do is that they suffocate your action figures. And listen, it never really it boggles my mind. It comes to a point in time where you buy an action figure on a shelf and it's stuck behind plastic or in a box, and then you open the box and then you breathe life into this new action figure, and there it is, and it's like, oh my gosh, I can breathe, and then you, as a selfish person with a soulless detolf, you then grab your figure, throw it behind glass, shut it, lock it down, and then you suffocate your toy behind glass. I don't understand why you would do that. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, look at my nice action figure. Isn't a nice new pose here, while your action figure is behind the glass going, looking like Darth Vader is choking your action figure. That's how your action figure feels. Just have some feelings for your action figures. Listen, if you're going to buy a soulless detolf, just keep the damn thing in a box. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm on a rant now. I've taken over. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Or you can get a diorama from me that would fancy it up a little bit, or you can get a diorama from High School Creations, Wall XD. It fits in there perfectly.
Yes, another person I'm thinking about, Dead Man One. Dead Man
One as well.
We are all toy mercs. We're all
that's true.
We are all toy mercs. But the thing is that there's plenty of people out there that can 3D print and build you dioramas, and it makes your own action figure toyland. Now here I am. I'm broadcasting here from the studios here in Toy Town. But I do have Toy Town. We do have Toy Town. That's TOYTOWNE. Toy Town, like broadcasting live from Toy Town. But you, as an action figure collector, you have your own Toy Town. And you know what? Sometimes sit there and do some landscaping. And what do? You do that by buying a diorama built by you, diorama pieces that you can build. And like you said, other collectors that build dioramas. Yeah. And you can just always change up your own Toy Town. Everyone has their own Toy Town. And it's just the fact that I live in the real one, and well, all of you have your owns, but we'll call it yours. What are we going to call your Toy Town? Go Figure Go. We're going to call it Go Figure Go Land. Go Figure Goville. What is it?
This is just the Go Zone.
The Go Zone. Ah, that's right. That's fantastic. It's the Go Zone. So, but you can, people call it a man cave. I know that I saw Laser Pants earlier in the chat. He has the Laser Cave. He calls it the Laser Cave.
There you go.
And so everyone has their own, their own Toy Town, if you will, but they call it what they will. Yeah. Of course, there's only one Toy Town, but you have the Go Zone. There is the Laser Cave. There's hold on. Wait a minute. There's the Throbbing Woods.
Yes,
from Skydro Walker. The Throbbing Woods from Skydro Walker. You can save 15% if you use the code Skydro at extremesets.com. But there's also other places. There's other places. There's Crazyville. There's Casbro Land. There's so many different places that toys come alive, and it's because people like you that create stuff. When did you start creating?
Diorama and diorama accessories.
Yeah, for your toys, for your collection. You were like, hey, you know what? I really want to make stuff for my figures, kind of enhance them a little bit. Like, where did that all come from?
So I think I'm supposed to be interviewing you, but I'll answer that question.
It was too good of a question not to say. It was right there on the top of my head.
It is good. So reverse 30&Go tonight. I've always been building stuff. I went to school for carpentry for a little while, and a friend of mine, George Barreto, got me into action figures because I was doing vinyl toys and designer toys and things that really didn't have articulation. And I was doing photography for a little while with that. When there were still print magazines for some places, and I got my first Wolverine, and Wolverine needed Sabretooth, and
that's
Wolverine needed his team, and
amen, preach it, brother.
Antagonist, and
play the organ.
It just went, but
amen.
I always was like, hey, what are those scenes? like behind the characters and stuff. Where do I get those little milk crates, and the
Right.
scenes, like how do you get that? Where do you buy that at? And he was
That's
like, oh,
right.
people make those. Like, wait, people make those? And I just started looking more into it, and I was like, I can do that. And I was
That's
watching
incredible.
how people do it, and I was like, oh, because I have carpentry experience, I
Oh,
know
yes.
I know more of the tool set,
Well, there's another layer. There's not only just the creative layer, but there's a to make sure that it is quality layer. I mean, because when you're working in carpentry and you're actually working for clients, you got to sit there and do things above board. I always tell people that, listen, if I was working on my own house or someone else's house, make sure that someone else's house was just as good as my house if I was
Right.
working on it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You wanna make it better than where you left off at. All right,
Anyways,
Sam.
so
Are you ready to get
yeah,
into this?
listen, we're ready to get into this. Thanks everyone for in the chat. We appreciate all of you that are in the chat. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe. He's not going to say
Yes,
it, but
please.
I'll say it though. I'll say it. So what's going on here? What do we got? So
You
now
can
you're
if you
above me.
will.
Yeah, there you are. You're up there now.
Hello.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So
Hollyweird Squares style.
that's it. So now I think I'm looking correct. Oh no, now it's up there. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
all good. If you need to know where it is, you can always ask Lord Blanket.
Who?
Lord
What?
Blanket. You can always ask him.
Who's that? What are you talking about? This Lord Blanket? I hear this all the time. What are you talking about?
All right, never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna get into a one word only kind of thing. So I'm gonna show you a photo, and you give one word right off the cuff immediately, and then
Oh, this is good. Oh
elaborate.
man, this is good.
So
Okay.
so the one word and then an
Okay.
elaboration. All right.
Okay. All right. Go
Are
ahead.
you ready?
I think so.
Let's go.
The University of Richmond. That's where we broadcast every Saturday morning. WDCE 90.1 FM. And one of the things is that's awesome is that well, okay, if I just say one word, you told me to say one word, and I just went into
You
like the
went
whole.
right into the explanation.
I went in right into the ad. Like said that's just how it. Okay, so all right, so hold on, let's rewind that before I sit there and do the commercial. Okay,
so let's get into this one word description with Sam Newsman.
Right. Can I do a hashtag?
Go for it.
Hashtag Go Spiders.
Go Spiders. Oh, Go Spiders? Like me?
Go Spider. Well, it's very interesting. All right, so here's something that's interesting. So the fact that so you see the spider logo. We're going to have an interesting discussion here real quick.
Let's do it.
The spider logo, the way that it's designed with the one body, spiders usually have two sections, I believe, and there's only one there, and there's four legs. So if you think about when a couple of years back when Marvel went bankrupt, okay, Marvel went bankrupt years ago. And during its bankruptcy, one of the things that they were doing is they were trying to find people who were possibly using things that they could bring a lawsuit.
Oh, intellectual property.
Correct. For intellectual property. And one of the logos was the original University of Richmond logo. It's different than the one that you see there. But that's the one that you've seen that has been used ever since. And the reason why is because they said that the University of Richmond spider logo was too close to the actual Marvel logo that they used.
Wow.
So one of the things that they had to do here at the University of Richmond, you see that spider logo, they had to change the logo because of intellectual. This is before Disney bought it, before everyone started watching the MCU, which is total garbage compared to the comics, but that's another story for another day. But the thing is that they said it looked too close to Spider-Man. And they said, well, we can't have that. We can't have that University of Richmond spider there. So we're going to have to bring a lawsuit. So the University of Richmond, what they decided to do, they decided to change the logo, redesign it and everything. And so now you have that particular logo, which is dedicated to the University of Richmond now, because now it doesn't infringe on any intellectual or property rights. Just a little thing.
I can see that. All
Interesting story, huh?
Very interesting.
You weren't expecting that one. You weren't expecting that.
I was, but when I first, did my research and things like that, I saw it and I said, "Oh, Spider-Man."
Exactly. See,
immediately.
Exactly. So that's University of Richmond. I broadcast my radio show WDC 90.1 FM. Download the Live 365 app. You'll be able to listen to the show every Saturday morning. This Saturday we might be there. We are covering GalaxyCon all weekend, but I'm sure we'll get to that a little later. So, but yeah, That's the Spider-Man, University of Richmond, Spider-Man can't.
All right. Is that the official song, or
no? That's just me
working on getting your rights.
No. Listen. I've probably already have gotten the flag for you. So this stream is not monetized. If you want to send any money directly to Go Figure Go, his Venmo is no. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right.
On to the next slide.
The moon and the Earth. This is very interesting. I sometimes look at these photos and I wonder, are they real?
I wonder too.
Is it Photoshop? Is it real? The only reason why I say that is because the facts remain that anybody can talk about the moon and they can say the moon is this, the moon is that. The moon's not real. Stanley Kubrick. Oh my gosh. Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, blah, 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 blah. They can say all of that. But the one thing that I'm sitting there wondering the whole time, and the only thing that really matters in this whole discussion, not whether or not the moon is a hologram, the moon is real or not, the moon actually gives off a cooling sensation, where the sun gives off a warming sensation, or the fact the moon rings like a bell. None of that matters. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is what type of cheese the moon is made of. It's all about the type of cheese. What's your favorite cheese? Go Figure Go. What's your favorite cheese?
I'd feel like I'd be disrespecting all the other cheeses if I said one.
No, but okay. So, all right. What's your top 3 cheeses? How about that?
I don't know. My wife knows this answer.
Listen. Don't give me your wife's answer. No, we're gonna have to sit there and start going down. I don't want to go down that rabbit trail.
I guess I would say sharp cheddar.
Okay.
Yellow American.
Your favorite cheese is not hers. You're not listening. You're not grocery shopping for her. I'm talking about you.
Pepper Jack.
Okay. So say those 3 again.
Yellow American, cheddar, sharp cheddar, and Pepper Jack.
Okay. Well, we all know that, and from my intel, that the moon is actually made out of Swiss cheese.
Because of the holes.
Yes, because of the holes. I mean, it's right there. I mean, it's complete. It's right there. Gouda. Yeah, so Gouda. Okay, goat cheese. Yeah, people in the chat are saying Swiss, goat cheese, hopefully Swiss.
There you go.
Someone says it's made of powdered cheese. Powdered cheese that is in the it's like when you stir up some macaroni, some Kraft macaroni.
Yeah,
just powder cheese. Cheese Whiz. Ms. Go says Cheese Whiz. Is that Ms. Go? Is that the Mrs.? Is that the Mrs.? Ms. Go? Mrs. Yep. Go. Shout out to Ms. Go. She said Cheese Whiz. You know, if you go to Philadelphia and you get a cheesesteak, if you order it with anything other than Cheese Whiz, you're gonna get smacked. I mean, they're gonna know right away that you're not from in town. Right?
I would imagine.
It's ridiculous. I think there was years ago when John Kerry ordered like provolone or something on his cheesesteak during his kid. Yeah. So there's this old story. John Kerry, George Bush. I think it was 2004, the election, and John Kerry went to Philadelphia and he ordered, I think, Swiss or some kind of other cheese other than Cheese Whiz. It was a big deal because then people in Philadelphia were like, "This fraud, get the hell out of our city." Jeez. Get the hell out of our city. It was crazy, but they still voted for him, of course. Very blue. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. We'll go there. But anyway, but we were talking about cheese. The moon is made out of cheese, and it's Swiss. From my own sources, I'm not sure anything other than that, but I feel like that's the case.
Yeah. All right, you ready for the next slide?
All right, drum roll.
I'm still here.
NBA hang time. NBA
One
hang.
word. One word.
Hashtag N64.
Hashtag N64.
You know the reason why I say that? Reason why I say that, because if you have the N64 version of Hang Time, one of the great things about that game, so Hang Time came out, it was made by Midway. It was made by Midway, the same company that made NBA Jam. They made NBA Jam Tournament Edition, but when Hang Time came around, the graphic processors, the music processors, and everything was a little bit more sharp. Hang Time is a little bit more fast. But they made 3 versions of Hang Time. They made Hang Time. I think they made a second Hang Time Maximum, I believe. That was the arcade. But then they made Hang Time on the N64.
Okay.
The N64 had one of the most interesting rosters because it was the original game that had Kobe Bryant as a member of the Lakers. Yeah. So Kobe Bryant was in this game. This was Kobe Bryant's very first game, and that was NBA Hang Time. You can find it on the N64. I do have a complete set and box. But one of the things a couple of years ago is I bought the NBA Jam arcade cabinet from Arcade 1-Up.
Oh,
right. Yes.
Yeah,
and what I did is,
yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yeah, very, very much so.
Okay, the reason why I just bring that up is because I had my producer. I called my producer up because I was like, "Hey, listen, I got this arcade cabinet. Why don't you come over here and fix it up for me?" And he said, "Fix it up? What do you mean?" I said, "Make it feel like a real damn arcade." And so what he did was he came over and he then took out all the control cabinet, the control parts, and then modded it with the actual arcade controls from back in the 90s. So it feels like a real arcade cabinet.
Wow.
Right. Yes, absolutely. So it's got the,
Awesome.
so they're called, it's called the HAP joystick, right? Isn't that right? Isn't that right over there? You guys are behind. Yeah, it's a HAP joystick, and the HAP buttons. It's interesting because if you think about for an arcade for a moment, there's concave buttons and they're convex. Convex being the rounded one, concave being in the ones that have like kind of the indentation,
the pocket.
Right, the little pocket. So those were the ones that were used on most arcade cabinets back in the 90s, including this NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time cabinet. And then no, it's not it's HAP, HAPP, not haptic, but it's short for haptic. I guess that's what they used it for.
The rumbling.
But right, but they called it HAP, HAPP. But yes, Kaz, you are absolutely right. It's because of the haptic feedback joystick design. So that's really good. I never thought about it until he just said it. I was like, that's absolutely right. I remember reading it now. So
Kaz opening up minds.
Well, he does 3D printing too.
Yeah.
So the very first HISS tank, there's a HISS tank coming out, but the very first HISS tank that I ever owned was made by Casual.
Yeah.
Casual made a HISS tank.
Everybody I know who has one got it from Kaz.
And they should look them up at Casual Toy Collector all over social media. All right. So what's next? Let's roll them. What do we got? Okay. So I'm looking at sheep, and I'm looking at a castle.
You want a hint?
Is this one of the? I don't remember. I'm not sure if I visited this castle. It's probably in Salzburg, or no, sorry, in Austria or Germany. Is that right? Or no?
It's close. It's close.
What do you? So
stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers.
It's in Normandy.
Normandy. Okay, yeah. So I never saw. Are you talking? So in France?
Isn't that beautiful though?
It is amazing. So you know where I was in France? I was in. So I never saw this.
So one word to describe this photo.
CGI. Right? There you go. Have you like that?
Yeah, I've never seen a more perfect sheep.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Yeah, they're not. Hey, man, get out of there! Stop eating the grass.
Right?
Like, stop eating the grass.
Organic lawnmowers.
That's well, hey, that's the truth, man. We need more of those.
Yeah.
So when I was in Normandy, one of the interesting things is there's a patch of land in Normandy that is actually U.S. soil. It was
really?
signed over by the French right after World War II.
Okay.
And it's right there on one of the cliffs overlooking the beaches of Normandy.
That's
and
really
these
cool.
Right. And so these are the beaches that our fine troops, the greatest generation,
Yeah.
that they call it. I was a wee little puppet. I was a wee little puppet lad. I was a wee little puppet when all that happened. No. So I was tiny then. I was only about 20 or so during that era in the 20s. But yes, farm boots. That's 2 words. We got Ireland. Someone else. One of those interesting things is that when he asked me a question, you guys should put your answer down in the chat too. So, sorry. So what's the next one? That's real. That's real.
Yeah, it's real. Yep.
Are you really?
Yeah. It's incredible.
Gosh, that looks like it's right out of a storybook.
Yeah.
From someone's computer.
Yeah. From someone's Photoshop.
Right. Anyways, it's gorgeous. Stop eating that stuff. Get off the lawn, sheep. All right, go to the next question. Cocktail.
There you go.
All right, so cocktail. I'm going to say that. Usually a whiskey and ginger. Whiskey and ginger.
Yeah, that's whiskey.
It is whiskey. So whiskey and ginger. The reason why I say that is because a lot of times I go to conventions.
Mm-hmm.
I go to several conventions. I'll be going to GalaxyCon this week. It's at the Richmond Convention Center. Just type in galaxycon.com. GalaxyCon. I'll be there starting tomorrow. 2:00 is when we're cutting the ribbon cutting ceremony. Barry Bostwick from Rocky Horror Picture Show will be there.
Oh, wow.
John Rhys Davies, who is Sala, and also Sala from the Indiana Jones series, and Gimli. I believe he will be at the ribbon cutting ceremonies. There will be several people there. I will be there live. You will see me. I'll be interviewing people all over the place. So make sure you're following me at Sam Newsman. GalaxyCon is this weekend. And I only say that is because a lot of the times here I am running around as a puppet, 90 minutes at a time, an hour to 90 minutes on the floor as a puppet, live streaming on my social media accounts.
Broadcasting live.
Yeah, broadcasting live from the event. And here I am at 60 minutes to 90 minutes. That's a long time for a puppet. Running around asking people, holding a microphone in everybody's damn face. Celebrities, vendors, also people dressed in outfits, and also real superheroes and characters themselves. It's incredible. It's a long time. So tomorrow I'll be doing it. The ribbon cutting ceremony tomorrow is at 2:00.
2 p.m.
Yeah, right. So I'm not sure if I'll have any cocktails prior to it, but you better damn believe that if I'm going to be on my game, I probably already will. So, but yeah, right. So cocktail.
Let's get into the next.
Strange.
Are you ready for some strange questions?
Dun, 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 dun.
If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I would say it would be fair food. What do you mean by fair food? Right? That's the question. Right? So I said fair food. You said what? One food. One food is fair food. Fair food works, right?
I don't know. I think we're looking for a what do you call it? Just a type of food, an apple, an orange.
Oh. If it was one type of food, I would have to say a French fry.
Yeah, French fries.
French fry, right? Why not a French fry? No, so I don't eat meat.
It's a vegetable.
It is a vegetable, but there's so many different ways you can have a French fry.
Definitely.
Right? So I would say French fry. All right, what's the next one?
In 2050, what will be the fastest mode of transportation in your opinion?
It'll still be text messaging.
Fastest mode of transportation?
Yeah. We're transporting our verbiage and dialogue, right? Oh, you mean like physical bodies?
Yes.
Daggone it. All right, hold on. Let me think. Fastest mode of transportation in
Knives Out
2050.
with Berserk.
Shout out, Berserk.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say, I mean, it would probably, well, I don't
Got
think it's going to
around.
be,
He's saying hoverboard.
I don't think it's going to be transportation by then. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You think 2050 there'll be transportation?
I think it'll just be electric vehicles.
I'll never
that
have
you
to go
don't-
up and down 95 again if I need to go to a goddamn con.
You will be going, but you won't be driving. It'll
Yes.
just be.
Oh man. Well, I'll be riding. I never drive to begin with.
You'll be in a car, but it'll be self.
That's incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
Electric car.
Yeah, because they'll have radar, you know, to understand what the other one's doing and communicate faster than we could think and make, you know, choices and stuff like that. That's what I think. I think it'll all be, I mean, we already got Google Maps. Tesla already kind of can, if you're in the far left lane and you had to exit to the right lane, Tesla can already do that for you. You know, it's only a matter of time to
That's incredible.
In 2050 that you know, you'll probably see it. The fact of the matter is that it's just you know, look at how everything's going. They're taking away what the person does, you know, and
right.
Transportation will be that too, you know.
Well, you know, you might be right. I'm not sure. I do like the hoverboard. Listen, hoverboards came out. Were supposed to come out in 2015. Round had said it correctly. He said a hoverboard, and here we are in 20. You know, I saw somebody walking down the street last night in Ashland, Virginia, at Politics and Pints. You can look and find those videos online at Sam Newsman. But I was walking down, and they call these things hoverboards, but they have wheels on them. They're not really hoverboards.
It's not a hoverboard.
I'm talking about like, but you know what I mean when I say that, right?
Yeah.
You know,
they
call them hoverboards, but there's damn wheels on both sides. I was like, oh, cool. They're not really hoverboards. No, so a hoverboard 2015. Here we are. It's 2023, and I don't have a hoverboard. I'm still very upset. There's a lot of other things. I should have a base on the moon. No, not a base. I'm sorry. I should have an apartment on the moon, a nice apartment overlooking Earth and everything.
Yeah.
But I still don't have that either. And so I'm wondering what the hell's going on. Somebody's pulling the strings behind the stage. Who's that? Who's that back there? Who's the director over there? Where's my hoverboard? Nobody has it.
No one has it.
Man. I'm still looking for it.
We're not getting that stuff. I mean, everybody wants a flying car, but we already have flying cars.
But you know what? The other day they did say a hovering motorcycle was just invented. I think.
Yeah, but it's basically you're sitting on a drone because it's got the same propelling unit.
There you go. And you know what? The only good thing that drones are for is for taking over all of humanity. Next question.
Amazon.
That's right.
All right. So this is a new segment called Just a Tip.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Where you give the viewer and everyone in the chat just a tip. Are you ready? There you go.
Got it. Oh, I got it. Okay, just a tip. There you go. All right. Anyway, so what are we doing?
What tip would you give to those who are looking to get into broadcasting?
Just do it. Just do it.
Nike.
Right. It goes back to the whole concept. Nike has a great logo. Phil Knight did a great thing. There's a movie called Air that just is coming out.
I can't wait to see that with Jordan, right? The Jordan story?
Correct. The Jordan story about how Jordan, and the shoes. So
I thought it was Dogma Part 2, but I was wrong.
Oh, hold on. Do we have that? Oh, yep. Oh, there they are. There they are. Oh, yes, of course. Yes, I do have Jordans. Yeah, so in terms of Jordans, and you were asking about Jordans and Air, just the tip looking at the broadcasting, just do it. A lot of times people want to wait until things are perfect, but if you're just going to ever wait till things are perfect, nothing's ever going to be perfect as a creator. Can you talk about that as a creator for a moment? Like, because
Yeah, I mean, you got to put yourself out there. There's always going to be people that love what you're doing. There's always going to be people that you have to curate, and there's always going to be people that are just like, meh, not my thing. But the number one thing you've got to do as a creator is be happy with what you did, because that's
right.
going to speak volumes. If you're happy with what you did, that I don't know, that energy, that vibe, even on the internet, or whether it's tangible, it transfers over, you know.
Well, it makes me think of, I think there's the Malcolm Gladwell, like 10,000 hours, I believe, is when you're considered an expert.
Right,
And all
10,000
you
hours,
listen,
yeah.
and all you got to do is just put in the time. Turn the microphone on and just start talking, whether it be broadcasting. You can be broadcasting songs, but you want to be able to talk about the songs because you connect with the songs that you play
Yeah.
on the radio. I connect with cartoon themes because cartoons are amazing and Saturday morning is
Yeah.
awesome. But it could be any type of broadcasting, and people like the term broadcasting is kind of dense because a podcast could be considered broadcasting. However, if you ask me directly, broadcasting to me is on the radio and on television with a signal that you can still grab a set of bunny ears, put them on your TV, or grab your radio and position your bunny ears on your radio correctly and hear the actual broadcast. But you just got to get into it. Like you said, you just got to start, you just got to do it, and you just got to put in the time. And eventually, it's not about getting into broadcasting. It's about becoming a good broadcaster. Because
Yeah,
if you're not getting into something, I mean, answer me this, if you're not getting into something, you're not just getting it just to get into it. You want to get into it because you want to get better and you want to get good at it, correct?
absolutely. Audit yourself. Audit yourself before anyone can audit you, and be your own worst critic, because if you find out something about yourself before anyone else does, no one can take you by surprise and give you that shock of, oh, I shouldn't be in this space doing something.
Right, correct. I'm looking at the chat right now. I see Cobra Viper. He says, "Don't broadcast drunk. You might put your foot in your mouth." And then I scroll down a little bit, and Dead Man says, "I'm always going live drunk."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Cobra Viper and Dead Man Juan. Both of those guys are fantastic.
I've been following Dead Man and been a part of his lives for quite some time, and he wears you down with that. And it's like, all right, what do I got to drink? Because this fucking guy is sitting here pounding them
Wait
away.
a minute. It's like, I got to get something else. I need to take another shot. I need to take another shot. It's fantastic. I love it.
I'm going to wash this JD or whiskey down with some Pabst Blue Ribbon real quick.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, listen, go big or go home. Go big or go home. All right. So next question, just the tip.
All right. What's the best advice you can give someone going on an interview for a broadcasting position?
You got to be authentic. You have to be authentic. You have to be yourself. One of the craziest things is that when I started broadcasting at the University of Richmond, WDC 90.1 FM, 9 to noon Eastern time, download the Live 365 app to listen to the show live. So one of the things is that when you're going to interview, you need to tell them what you're going to do. One of the things that I started doing right out of the gate, and Cobra Viper can, me and him talk about this type of music genre, but synthwave. There's a genre called synthwave. There's a genre called vaporwave or vapor funk. And when I started streaming live on WDCE back in 2018, I was playing vaporwave, vapor funk, vaporwave, Thursday afternoon at 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, prime time, 5 to 7.
Yeah, that is prime.
5 to 7, prime time.
Crowd.
Yep, rush hour crowd. And it was very interesting because I was just playing what I thought was interesting. And if you're familiar with those genres, look them up: vaporwave, vapor funk, synthwave. Very retro-centric in terms of their delivery. A lot of synthesizers.
So you got to play your own music.
Well, it was the music that just struck me back to a time in the 80s when things were cool, but it had a little modern vibe. But then But then on a Thursday, on a random Thursday, the board was taken over by two people called I Know and Frenchie. I'm not sure exactly what it was. We couldn't understand what had happened. They kept talking about this Lord Blanket nonsense. And then out of nowhere, cartoon themes started being played.
Yeah.
And this is on a Thursday. So all I could do is that when I knew that I could patch into the board and start talking again,
Okay.
I would just call it a Throwback Thursday.
Nice.
Because I wasn't really sure what was going on.
Yeah.
I just think that were you guys just playing a joke on me? You guys.
Well, this
was on the radio.
But was this like influenced by Lord Blanket or anybody like that?
Well, that's what they keep saying. They keep saying that over there. And what was it? Somebody said Lord Blanket was over my shoulder. Do you see anything? Okay, so it's not real. Lord Blanket's not real. None of this is true. I don't know what anything is about. All I know is that I started playing Saturday morning cartoon themes on a random Thursday, a Throwback Thursday.
Okay.
And then my phone started blowing up. When my phone started blowing up, then I thought to myself, I said, Sam, you know what you should do? You should go to Saturday morning. And it's like, well, and it's like, well, and when you go to Saturday morning, then what should you do? Well, you should play cartoon themes on Saturday morning, which is what I do every Saturday morning, 9 to noon, WDC 90.1 FM. But just be genuine, be yourself, be authentic, play the music that you want to play, because you're going to have to talk about it. You're going to have to talk about the show, the song or whatever when you're talking about it, but play what you want to play, do what you want to do, dance how you want to dance.
Yeah. All right. Good advice. And that was Just a Tip with Sam Newsman. All right, so let's get into some figure talk. You down?
Just the tip. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's figure talk. All right, so here we go.
All right. What's one character you'd like from Silverhawks if you don't have them already?
Oh, Melodia. Okay. Yeah, Melodia. The reason why is because she plays her guitar just like Bluegrass plays his guitar. So Bluegrass is he's the pilot of the Silverhawks. Okay. You know, all the other ones have wings. They shoot their wings out. But then you have Bluegrass. Bluegrass is the one playing the guitar. If you watch the intro theme, there's a guitar riff, and you see him starting to strum like he's the one playing the guitar. So, you know, people grew up their whole lives, you know, worshiping all these 80s rock gods, Van Halen, all this other stuff. I'm just telling you right now, it's all about Bluegrass and the Silverhawks. Yeah. And so Bluegrass is sitting there strumming his guitar. Right. However, Monstar and the Mob. So Monstar is a mob boss. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to make it off of you, can't refuse. I'm going to make it off of you, can't refuse. And so because of that, Monstar has a whole group. He basically has a whole gang of criminals. And one of the ones is Melodia. Okay. And Melodia has some really interesting glasses. They look like notes. Like one of them looks like a note with like a treble clef and a little flag. Anyway, they're very 80s-esque, and she's got a very 80s hairstyle. And she's looking like she's the badass member of the Gems that like left the band. That's who she is. Wow. So yeah. Okay. So all right. If I had to say that, so think about Jim and the Holograms. Now I have sat there and met Samantha Newark, and I plan to see her again at Joe Fest this year. So Samantha Newark, she was the original voice of Jim. I'll see her at Joe Fest again. Fantastic though. She was wonderful. But imagine a member of the Gems that was just too badass for the group. She was like, I'm just going to go out on my own. Solo tour. That's Melodia. That's Melodia. So cool. That's Melodia. She's the bad. And she, like I said, she has a guitar for a weapon. And that guitar is strum and vibrations. Well, you can call them good or bad vibrations, whatever you want. All that's amazing. It's amazing because if you watch the animated show, when it's streaming out of her guitar, it's just like Bluegrass. It's like notes. There's like little notes and like a staff, a music staff. So it's pretty fantastic. Yes, Melodia all day long.
All right. So, thoughts on Mezco producing Dick Tracy figures?
This is very interesting. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Wait a second.
Are you a fan or something?
So so this hat is the hat from The Blank. Okay, so this is the Blank's hat from the Dick Tracy film.
Oh, cool.
Actually licensed by Disney,
Okay.
Miramax Films, I believe. And so this is the actual Blank Dick Tracy hat from The Blank. Now, you might see me in some photographs that has a yellow hat or a gold hat. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we don't call it yellow because yellow means like chicken.
Yeah.
You call it gold because gold kind of references the fact that you're a winner. So
right.
Anyway, so is the gold and black hat. We'll call it the gold and black hat, the Dick Tracy hat. So one of the ones I was using over the last 2 years was the gold hat of Dick Tracy, and so that was the fedora, and it was the actual one from the movie. One of the interesting things about Dick Tracy is Dick Tracy in 1990 by Warren Beatty. People can knock on it, but I would sit there and argue right out of the gate that it is the best comic book film of any comic book films. And
yeah,
I would be
more so than Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
Okay, never mind. You win. You win. No, and the reason why I say that is because Steven Sondheim, the amazing Broadway producer, was the one who did the music for it. So name me any other comic book movies that have a Broadway songwriter producer who's made Broadway shows as the person doing the music for the actual movie. Danny Elfman also did the orchestrations. So you had Steven Sondheim doing the songs with the music. You have Danny Elfman, who is doing the actual music for the movie. And it was the last movie that used traditional backdrops before CGI and green screens were implemented. So they used a lot of paintings, if you will, actual paintings, and everything you see is in primary colors. And that was intentional. The intentional thing was to use just primary colors, the 8-pack, if you will.
Nice.
And this brings us back to the thoughts on the Dick Tracy figures. The interesting thing about these figures is that they're in the design of the comic book. So the old comic book, Chester Gould did these villains back in the 1930s and 40s, right at the height of the World War. Wow. So when you see people like Flat Top, you see people like Pruneface. These are villains that were in a Dick Tracy story arc during the 1930s and 40s. And when these guys got killed off, they got killed off. They were dead. None of this, we're coming back jazz. No, it's like he continued to do Dick Tracy's into the mid 1970s.
Okay.
These guys never came back. There was we're talking real life gangsters here.
Yeah.
So there was an authenticity in what Chester Gould was doing, and that's what these Mezco figures are looking like. I already have the 2-pack, and so there's only been one time I did. Okay, so real quick, short story.
Let's go back to the question. What are your thoughts on Mezco producing them? Are you happy with it? Do you feel like somebody else would do a better job?
Well, what the hell? It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get them until about 2030 anyway.
Well, no, hopefully 2050 when we have the fastest form of transportation.
Right. Yeah. That should be the interesting. Like, what's the fastest? What's going to be the fastest? Them getting my damn figures to me when I order them, and not about 2 years later. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into the next segment. You ready?
Let's go.
All right. Sorry. One more. What is your Grail figure? So what's a figure that you have that was just like, oh my God, this figure right here is going to make my life so much more better now?
It's easy. It was the Blank from Dick Tracy.
Oh, easy.
And that's an easy one because yes. And what goes back to the hat. that which I have. It goes back to the
Yes.
question that you just asked.
It
And the reason
full
why
circle immediately.
immediately people say that it was here. It was not ever here in the United States, but it was. Kmart did get a batch. There's an old store called Kmart. Kmart got a batch, and I remember seeing it on Kmart one time when I went into Kmart, and I was like, "Oh, look, Dick Tracy. Oh, that's reminds me when I was an old wee little puppet." And then all of a sudden, I sit there and I just passed on it, and it was the blank. The blank was there. So, and if you can go back, but one of the reasons why the blank became so popular is because shortly after that first batch was released to Kmart, then what
Kmart.
happened? What they did is that they then pulled the blank from being released in the rest of the United States.
Wow.
So, and at that point, the only place you can get it was Canada. So a lot of the versions of the blank that you get now, it's from Canada. There is the French language and then the U.S. language on it.
All right.
It's very rare for you to see anyone that doesn't have a American logo. But that's it. The blank. Dick
Let's
Tracy.
keep it moving. We've got a few more segments to go through, and we are almost at the top of the hour. So let's keep it going. All right.
You got another sponsor?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anybody willing, pick up that phone or pick up that Instagram.
That's right.
All right, so we're going into the deep dive. This is where we take a look at your profile and get in the submarine and go deep down into that profile of yours, and maybe pull up some stuff that you may or may not remember. Are you ready to deep dive?
I'm ready.
Let's go. All right, you posted this. This is one of your first photos on Instagram. Can you tell us about this?
This is the Figma. This is the Figma Moai. The Figma Moai. Figma is one of those things where a couple of years ago I started I was doing collecting, and it was this figure that pretty much changed how I was going to collect moving forward. And the reason why I say that is because this is representative of the Moai statues on Easter Island.
Easter Island, yeah.
Correct. And there's Bob Barker in the background.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
with a wonderful suit on, by the way. And so shout out to The Price is Right.
Is Lord Blanket watching this while you're posing?
What?
This figure?
What about, you mean Lord Blanket?
Is he watching Price is Right?
I don't know. I was watching Price is Right.
Oh, you Blanket. Were okay.
I was watching. Okay,
right, never mind.
Okay,
never mind.
Okay. Right. So Easter Island, the Moai, and this is made by Figma. They're about to do a re-release of this figure. It's on Big Bad Toy Store. You can go check it out and get this figure. But it is incredible. It is what really kind of changed my mindset of what do I really want to collect? Do I want to collect pop culture IPs, things that everyone else can get or that everybody else is looking for? Do I want something a little bit more niche? And it was this little guy right here that, I guess, refined my collecting, if you will.
Beautiful. Well said. The next photo we've got is you with a celebrity. Tell us about this.
Oh my gosh, that's me and the Sarge. So Sarge was one of the first celebrities that I interviewed at GalaxyCon, which I'll be covering GalaxyCon this weekend, starting tomorrow, 2:00, maybe about 1:30 or so. PM Eastern time at Sam Newsman across social media. But I met Sarge at my first GalaxyCon, and I asked him a simple question. All I asked him is that when are the Joe episodes, the G.I. Joe episodes, where Destro is supplying weapons to the Joes? When are those episodes, when are those classified episodes going to be released? And he said they never will. And then I had Destro call my radio show this weekend. Arthur Burkhart, the original voice of Destro, asked him the same question. He says it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And so because of that, this is me and Sarge. This is the second time that I saw him. I saw him at Joe Fest. I was asking him about Action Force. I was asking him about the Swarm. I was asking about Cobra. I was asking about Destro. And all he says that I'm just going to get you right now, Sam Newsman. And he puts me in the Cobra clutch.
All right. So you are a celebrity puppet, and you're the most trusted puppet in media.
Right?
How is it that your handlers allow something like this to happen?
Listen, the production crew has they have no ability in terms of what's going on behind the scenes. All they are is just holding the damn camera. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, here I am engaged with real media, real journalism, the only thing that a real media puppet could do. But they have no ability to they just have to sit there and just film it because we're just going to use it.
In all honesty, Sam, I think this probably qualifies you as a war correspondent.
You know what? I think you're a damn genius. You know what?
Wouldn't it?
I mean, I look at that. Look at the fear on that face.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very intense moment. It was intense moment. He let me go. I did tap.
I mean, obviously, this guy's
everybody.
Hardened Joe wrestler.
He's a real life wrestler and a real life GI Joe. In the flesh,
literally
in the flesh, and here I am, my little felt puppet ass, man. He could have just shredded me up like a piece of toilet paper. So good grief.
This is an American superhero, as American of a superhero as you can get.
However, I loved him the most when he was a heel in wrestling.
Oh,
that was the best.
I was just getting patriotic when that happened, so let's just skip that. Next slide here. We've got something that is kind of rare on your profile. It's actually an action figure photo, full diorama setup, great lighting, and you've got Phantom here just looking at and I'm gonna finish my coffee. So tell us what made you take this photo, because you've got a lot going on here.
So you look at that photo, you see the Phantom. Phantom was the original action figure who wore spandex prior to anybody else. And then I have probably my favorite army, which is the Foot. Foot. So the Foot Clan. And then you have Super Shredder, who is played by Kevin Nash in the film. I believe he might be at GalaxyCon this weekend too. We'll have to see.
God bless him. Yeah.
So, so Kevin Nash as well. So when I took this photo, the only thing I was thinking when I took this photo, you know what it was? Monday morning. Because that's what I look at.
I could totally see that with the cup and everything.
Right. Yeah. So
Perfect.
That's it. Yeah. So when I took this photo, the concept of this photo was just Monday morning, and that was it. So that was the idea, the inspiration behind this photo. I saw the Phantom. I said, let me give him a cup of coffee. It's Monday morning. Let's just take a photo real quick. and set up a bunch of, and there's multiple generations of the Foot. You have the Super 7 Foot.
I see that. Yep.
There's a Super 7 Foot. There's the NECA Foot Soldiers. Then there's the Super Shredder by NECA. I believe there's probably also somewhere, you probably can't see them in this frame, but the original Playmates.
Yeah.
The little Playmates ones too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had a whole bunch of them all set up, and they were all ready to go. But yeah, this is just another Manic Monday.
All right, we're going to get into your action heroes.
Oh Lord.
So, let us know who we got on the screen.
Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's the only. Then we have Dick Tracy. Then we have Marshall Dillon, Gunsmoke. Captain Mal of Firefly. And then we have Ramses.
All right, so let's get into the questions about your action hero, guys. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, you got a battle royal going on. Who wins?
Damn it, man. If there's a battle royal and we have all four of these guys, I'm going to have to say damn it. It's going to be Thrawn.
Yeah?
It's going to be Thrawn.
It's going to be Thrawn. Nice.
Yeah, but the reason why I say it's going to be Thrawn is because he'll have every attack that's planned out by the other three.
So master strategist.
He's already won the chess match before they even started the battle royal.
Nice, Thrawn. Yeah, you've got a couple of people siding with you over there in the comment section.
Yeah, Thrawn.
All right. So, recently you mentioned in the Mando series, who would you cast as a live action version of Thrawn?
Isn't that interesting that I picked Thrawn and that's where we go?
Yep.
So I thought the coolest thing was there was an internet rumor a while back where it was going to be Pierce Brosnan. But I do believe they've already have picked somebody, if I'm not mistaken. You might be able to look. It was the voice actor that voiced him in in Star Wars Rebels, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. If I am, then count one, and I owe you a drink. Not all of you, just the one that sits there and says it first.
There you go.
But in terms of an actor who I would think that would be that, well, the Pierce Brosnan thing was really good. Because then that kind of just swings them from being James Bond good guy all the way till I'm playing chess while you're playing checkers bad guy.
Nice.
And
that's
so
awesome.
that was an internet rumor. Don't think it's going to happen. I think they've already have decided who's going to play him, but I think that's where that stands.
Well, they can't take our dreams.
They can't. Nope.
All right. Okay, what is the one thing you'd change about the Dick Tracy or the franchise?
Wow, man. If I had to change something about Dick Tracy, is that I would see a more, I guess, a more attack on the IP in terms of bringing it back. Things are all coming back these days. We're about 30 years. We're in this 30-year cycle where things that were pop culture related 30 years ago are now coming back. And one of the things I think about directly is Michael Keaton as Batman.
Right.
There we go, which is 1989. Dick Tracy came out in 1990.
Yeah.
But then we do have the Mezco series coming around. So the frequency, but maybe what, the one thing that I think about it is that we don't want it to get too overwhelmed. The last thing we want, Silverhawks, it took Silverhawks 36 years before Ramen Toys. Shout out to Ramen Toy, because they were the first company in 36 years to release a new Silverhawk. Now, everybody's gotten all kinds of stuff since then, and they've gotten it over and over and over again. Wow. So maybe the frequency thing is not a good idea, but there is still a Dick Tracy comic. It is on several different comic strips throughout the country and syndicated, but you have to just check your local paper for that. But yeah, I don't know. Tighten up, Dick Tracy.
All right. So would Sam Newsman ever cosplay as Captain Maul?
Oh man, if somebody could give me a brown coat, I would do it.
I would definitely do it. Yeah,
I would do it. It would be tough though, because I'd have to take off my hat. And everybody knows me from having a hat of some kind. But it's okay because I do have beautiful puppet hair. I just don't want anybody to get upset if I start having my beautiful puppet flowing locks that is underneath these amazing hats. It's shown, but if I had to do some cosplay as Captain Mao, I would do it. Oh, God bless you, Mao.
You've also got to worry about cloning, right?
That's right.
All right. What kind of that's supposed to say tablet. What kind of tablet would Ramos use, an Apple or a Samsung?
The kind of tablet that Ramses would use. I was thinking table. I was thinking table. I was like, I was like mahogany. Maybe it's marble.
This is when we were rushing behind in the green room behind the scenes.
Green room. This is green room work.
This is the green room.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say that Ramses is at the point where he's using an Apple. He's using an Apple tablet. The reason being is because it's all in one.
Yeah.
People then would sit there and say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't use that because it's made over in China." And it's like, well, but we're Egypt. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You think he was jealous that he wasn't the first person with a tablet to download something from the cloud?
Probably so. I mean, if you look at some of those Sumerian text and some of those Sumerian wall carvings, they actually have people that have watches. And so my question is it a watch or is it an Apple Watch? That's what I want to know.
Does that watch have Siri?
I don't know, but I turn her off because she's creepy.
Yep.
She haunts my dreams.
It's all creepy. It's all
It is.
creepy.
It is.
All right, we're gonna get into your animated heroes.
All
Are you
right.
ready?
All right. I'm ready.
Who do we got on here?
Shredder. Skeletor. I guarantee Leatherhead. Monstar.
All right, so let's get into these questions about your animated heroes. Give these two, Skeletor and Shredder, a WWE WWF style tag team name.
Shrelator.
That's a
I mean,
squish. That would be their celebrity. I got married to K-Fed and Britney name, I think.
yeah, Shrelator. It's Shrelator all day long.
Shrelator.
Yeah, Shrelator.
All right,
Yeah.
what theme song would they come out to when they're a tag team?
Oh man, it has to be something very 80s with a nice guitar riff.
Hell yeah.
Don't they look very 80s and metal.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
it has to be something very Shredder, like some 80s metal guitar riff. I'm not sure. You can pick your favorite guitar solo. They'll just come out to that.
All right. All right. Oh, I forgot. Oh my god. Well, let's just imagine that's Moonstar, right? We all know he can morph into a second form that's like kind of robotic, right?
Right.
What would a third form be like for this guy?
If he had to, okay, there he is. Man, if Monstar had to have a third form, he had to have a third form,
right?
I would say it would be some form of maybe a tank, probably a tank of some kind, probably a tank of some kind, of a space tank. You know, a space tank that, you know, has got like kind of a rocket boost and rocket powered space tank. Yeah, use your imagination. A rocket powered space tank.
I could see that.
Yeah,
something like how Starscream would look, I would imagine.
No, better than Starscream.
Better.
More like hell, you know what? Let him just transform into a damn planet. Let's just call him a damn planet. That'll be fine. He'll be like damn planet.
All right. What would Leatherhead be like if he didn't have those fits of rage?
Well, he would be cooking. Do you know? So that whole phrase, I guarantee, that's from a cooking show. I can't think of the name of the chef. It's a celebrity chef, an old celebrity chef, and he would sit there and make Cajun dishes, and he would say, "Well, yes, this is really good because this is fantastic. I guarantee." And that's where the whole idea of "I guarantee." If you listen to the old cartoon, from back in the day, that's what he would say is "I guarantee," and that goes back to that Louisiana Cajun chef cooking show. Which so if he didn't have fits of rage, he would just be cooking. I guarantee.
Nice, very cool. All right,
gaming.
So we're gonna get into our next segment, which is gaming. We'll chat about some games that are pretty good picks by you, my good man.
Yes. All right.
So what do we got here?
We have the greatest racing franchise of all time, and that's Mario Kart. Came out in 1992.
Yeah.
They were just released a new expansion for Mario Kart 8 on the Switch about 2 weeks ago.
I don't know if you can see the Switch is right behind me, ready to go.
Yeah, and so we need to link up as friends. And if you want to play some Mario Kart, the only reason why I say that is because I used to play Mario Kart professionally, and in fact, at the very first GalaxyCon, I went to the gaming area of GalaxyCon,
right?
And I registered to play Mario Kart Double Dash, which was for the GameCube, and I hadn't played it in about 10 years, and I ended up getting third place in the tournament.
That is so awesome.
And so I still had it. And Mario, listen, I almost made the finals for Mario Kart 8, but it was played on the Switch, and at the time I was used to playing it on the Wii U, which is where it first came out. So there was a button mechanic that I was not familiar with. So I wasn't able to make the finals for that. Almost made the finals for Mario Kart 8, but I did get third place in Mario Kart Double Dash. That was at GalaxyCon a few years ago.
All right, next we have
Mega Man Remastered.
the OG remastered for Nintendo Switch.
So
We got
Mario World.
Yep. So, question about Mario Kart, right? You've got a ton of racers, right? Who is your favorite racer? Who do you pick the most? Who's your go-to guy for Mario Kart?
Originally, it was Mario.
Yeah.
Originally, it was Mario because of the balance. Because, like, in these new games, you can pick certain different carts. You can pick certain different wheels,
Right.
certain different
It's
parachutes.
really customizable.
So you can kind of customize your cart and how your cart is controlled. But then there is the character themselves that is pretty great as well. That can kind of balance that all out. Mario is the one I used to usually pick. I still do sometimes if I'm having troubles. I usually would just play on 200cc.
Nice.
And because of that, it just depends. But I will say that Yoshi, a lot of times I do try these tracks right out of the gate, especially when they release these new ones as Yoshi first. And I kind of tweak the car and tweak the wheels to see how it's going to work. But that's it. But yeah, so it's between originally Mario and Mario Kart. But right now I kind of start off with Yoshi and then peel back to Mario if necessary.
All right. In Mega Man, who's the toughest villain?
All right. So it would be Gutsman.
Gutsman. That's the strong guy up top.
Correct.
Left, right?
There he is. Yep. There he is up at the top. The top left corner.
Yes.
Yep. Top left corner. Yeah. The reason why I say that is because there's a segment within the stage where you have to do a bunch of time jumping, and this is platforming at its prime.
Oh yeah.
And if you couldn't even do that, you'll never get to Gutsman.
True.
So I would say it's Gutsman just purely because of the actual stage.
So Gutsman is the toughest villain in Mega Man for Sam Newsman.
Easy.
Nice. What is the toughest stage in Super Mario World?
Oh, it's the one that's not even shown. It's the Star World. It's the Star World. It's
well,
the
that's
one
a special stage. So.
Well, no. Hey, well, listen. If you get them, that's where you get it.
That is a earned stage there. You don't just get that stage. You earn that stage.
Well, yeah. Listen, you got to know what you're doing with this Mario Kart, Mario World stuff. But I would say, well, of course,
Also, it's an untouched map. You see Bowser in the water still,
right?
Not broken.
Yeah, it's also the map of the country and not the actual map from the game. So that's the map from the world.
Yeah, that's
That's the world. That's a world map.
Yeah, it's a world map.
So what would be the toughest stage? It would always be Bowser's area down there in the middle of the water somewhere.
Yep. I hated water levels.
Water levels were the worst.
Yeah, they really are. But I always had problems playing with my cousins and stuff because one cousin, she was really good at Mario and she had to get every single coin and it would be like 2 seconds and then she'd make the jump. And I'd be like, you can't keep doing that. You got to share.
That's true. Oh, real quickly, I see Deadman just said Mega Man was hard. Mega Man separated. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. And Mega Man separated the men from the boys.
Yep.
And I always, I beat Dr. Wily before I saved the damn princess.
Yeah.
Screw the princess. I got to beat Dr. Wily first.
Yeah. I had a cousin when we were all getting our Nintendo Switch. I immediately got a Mega Man game and I was like, are you sure you want to play this? It's not for the faint of heart. It's a pretty hard game. He was like, yeah, I'll play it.
Like, bring it on.
Know. I just can't get past I keep selecting a stage and I keep dying. I was like, yeah, I told you it would be hard.
Yeah.
It's not Mario.
Yeah, well, it's not at all. Which I'm looking forward to the movie, by the way.
You're talking about with Chris Pratt, right?
Right. Yeah. Listen, that looks incredible.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a movie in a theater in a long time, but I think I might have to travel. Listen, I'm going to have to, I think, travel out to go see Mario. What do you think? I mean, that seems like it's a worthy. This comes out next month. You going to go see it?
Yeah.
Did you go? Did you go see Top Gun?
Oh, hell yeah.
You did see Top Gun. Did you see the Maverick figure that Ramen Toys is doing?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I'll send you the link. Just look it up. Ramen Toys is doing a Maverick figure.
Soft goods or anything like that?
No, but it looks like it's Tom Cruise jumping out of jumping out of your
Yeah,
TV and becoming an action figure.
my wife's phone light just went on, so
Yeah,
you could use the Discover, babe. I get
that's
more
right.
points.
That's right. Shay, listen, highway through the danger zone, if you know what I'm
Yep.
saying.
All right, what do we got next? We've got the Oh Snap next. Okay.
Oh, snap.
So there's a lot of people find this difficult, and a lot of people really like this segment. It's one of my personal favorites. So basically, Sam Newsman, you've got the Infinity Gauntlet on, and you're in a situation where you've got to erase one. Who's it gonna be?
If I'm going to erase one, it's
Out
going
of
to be
these three?
Shredder.
Yeah, you're gonna erase Shredder?
I'm going to erase Shredder.
But if you erase Shredder, do you get the Ninja Turtles?
Nope.
And do you get Master Splinter?
Nope.
So Master Splinter
Nope.
grows up to be
Shredder's gone. Dick Tracy and Captain Mao all day long.
keeping him.
That's the only time you'll see when I say, two good guys over a bad guy. You got me there, Go. You got me.
Yeah,
You got me. Usually,
you
listen,
pick the bad guy.
I picked the bad guy to get rid of him and only had two good guys. That's something I probably would never do.
It's
so
interesting.
you got me.
Usually,
This is a first on Go Figure Go Live that I actually took out the bad guy and only remained with two good guys. But could Captain Mal be considered a good guy? Or is he kind of an anti-hero, such as a...
Yeah, I would say anti-hero.
See? Okay, so that's why. Listen, I mean, and Shredder is the coolest looking bad guy in all of the 80s. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Look at how sexy he looks. I mean, so it's really tough, but, Dick Tracy, Captain Mal, they're the two, That's it. Sometimes he does have to pay for an extra seat. He does. If I'm going and he wants to go along with me, damn right he's got to pay for another ticket. What are you doing?
What are you doing, man?
What are you doing, man? Good grief.
Well, Sam, that was 30&Go.
Well, I tell you what, that was fantastic, and you stumped me. You stumped me. So you did stump me on that last one with me picking the Shredder.
I'll be here all week.
I'll be here all week. Make sure you follow him at Go Figure Go. So
yeah. If anybody's still in the chat and got any questions that you want Sam Newsman to ask right now, feel free to throw them in the chat, and we'll get to as many as possible in the next 5 or 6 minutes before we head out and call it a night.
Right.
So where can the people find you, Sam?
Well, they can find me at Sam Newsman all over social media. That's at Sam Newsman.
All over. Unless TikTok decides to hide the truth again.
Well, if they do, that would be very upsetting. Almost 7,600 subscribers on TikTok.
And that was quick. Right?
It was incredible.
Was that not quick for you?
It was in the last 45 days. It was in the last 45 days or so when I got that. The whole TikTok thing. So what was that? What? You're not real. No. I'm not going to say anything. Anyways, so at Sam Newsman all over social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, all over the place. And and every Saturday morning, WDCE 90.1 FM, WDCE 90.1 FM. Download the Live 365 app, search WDCE, and you can listen to the radio. I always say that the radio feed is the real feed of the show.
Yeah.
So, and that is the real feed of the show. So, and of course, I do simulcast, setting the standard, raising the bar. So I'm simulcasting on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, sometimes TikTok, all live while I do my live segments where I am. But the radio feed really is the genuine feed of it. So download the Live 365 app. Simple Radio is another one, but the station wants me to promote Live 365. So the Live 365 app, and search WDCE, and you can listen to it at 9 to noon.
9 to noon
every Saturday morning. Right. So, hey, now one of the things is that I was going to say, Do you want me to sign us off?
Sure, man. Go ahead. I'm gonna give you the full screen over here. All right.
All right, I want to sign us off. Go. And now I just want to sit there and say right now, if you're not following Go Figure Go on Instagram, then you should be. Reason being is because prior to us, when we were in the green room, I was just telling them that creativity and creators are really what is at the focus of toy collecting. So sure, you can sit there and say, oh, I have a toy. I'm going to throw it in a soulless DTOF. It's going to suffocate behind glass as opposed to plastic. But one of the things that you like is to take pictures with your toys. Maybe they're action figure photos. Maybe you're just something just casual. But one of the things is people like Go Figure Go create 3D prints. They create 3D diorama set pieces. And really all that does is just foster your imagination. Because even though people might sit there and say, hey, what's up with this whole toy life thing? Hashtag TOYLYFE. What's up with this toy life thing? And I say, well, toy life is not just about collecting. It's not just about playing. It's about imagination. And it's what has allowed me to continue to collect toys from the time of wind-up toys in the early 1900s to the new modern toys that we have today, from Ramen Toys, Super 7, even the soulless companies like Mattel and Hasbro. It doesn't matter. But all that matters is that there's a spark of creativity in all of us, just like there is a toy town that all of you have as well. So I leave you here this evening, and I want to thank Go Figure Go real quickly once again for allowing me. It's an honor. It's an honor, sir, for having been a part of your show. And I'm sure. So when's the next episode?
The next episode is coming soon to a small screen near you. And we are going to have, I'm just looking up real quick because I am terrible at keeping things together lately.
It's okay.
Actually, interestingly enough, we're in April. We're going to be in April, right?
Right.
Yeah. So another fellow 3D printer and action figure photographer. Next guest is Tears from Titan.
Fantastic.
And that is April 6th.
And who is the sponsor of the show again?
This show?
Yeah. Who is the sponsor?
That is Mr. D. Blake Makes.
D. Blake Makes. Where can you find him?
You can find him at D. Blake Makes everywhere, and you can find him at a lot of toy conventions in the New Jersey and the New York area.
And I'm sure we're going to see him live again. Go Figure Go, thank you so much. Once again, he's at the Go Zone. I'm here broadcasting live deep from an underground military bunker.
It's classified,
or a spaceship.
People.
Yes, it's classified. Or a spaceship high above the plane of Earth. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is 30&Go.
Good evening.